How you doing? I'm Darren with Kickin BBQ. If this is your first time to the channel, then welcome. If you've been here before, then welcome back. Today, we are talking barbecue chicken, but we are gonna be doing some half chickens right here. Look how good those look. We're gonna be doing some backyard mixed with a little comp cooking today, meaning that we're gonna give these chickens a nice butter bath, get that skin nice and rendered and tender. It's gonna be nice and bite through, and they're gonna be absolutely amazing. So let's bring in and show you how we're gonna prep up these half chickens. All right, so here is our chicken, and we are going to be doing the half chickens today, like I said, and I'm really excited to show you guys this recipe. It's gonna kind of blend at-home backyard cooking with comp cooking, and the end result is going to be a very, very juicy and delicious chicken. So to get our half chicken, we're just going to do basically what we would do to spatchcock it, and we are going to cut out this spine. And you can do this with a knife, but I like these KitchenAid poultry shears. They're pretty heavy duty and they make quick work, and you can keep all your fingers rather than messing around with a knife. All right, and once we have the spine taken out, we have to split these in half, and to do that, just gonna flip this over, get it spread out, and I'm just gonna kind of eyeball here, center, and then just go through. All right, so once we have those separated, this little bone right here, I'm just gonna come in and I'm just gonna shave this down just like that. And I'm gonna immediately get these bone chips off to the side because I don't want those getting on the chicken. That's completely optional. Next, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna clip off these wing tips, just like so. Now at this point, now that we have our chicken halves separated, I'm just gonna come in and dry everything off here and kind of wipe out the inside of this container. Dry the inside of this chicken. All right, so now that we have our chicken halves separated, dried off, and ready for the injection, let's get our injection mixed up. So I'm gonna set this off to the side right here. And I have 16 ounces of water in here. And the injection we're gonna be using today is Butcher Bird Booster. This is brine and injection. We're using the recipe for the injection today. So for 16 ounces of water, it's gonna be 1 tablespoon of the powder here. Just gonna get that added in. Get this cap on tight and just give it a good shake. This is meant to mix up well at cold water. You don't have to heat it up to dissolve it. So there we go. Just take a smell. Yeah, smells delicious, very savory, very chickeny. So looks like any chicken stock, and believe it or not, there is chicken stock in here. So I'm gonna get this set off to the side. We got our birds here, and we're gonna get these injected right now. All right, so now that we have our half chickens ready to go, our injection ready to go, I'm gonna show you how I like to do it. And I like to load up the syringe with the needle off. Just makes it, loading it up a lot easier. And this is the needle I'm using here. This is a 14 by 2 inch, 14 gauge, 2-inch needle. And it doesn't tear up the skin too much. This is the same thing I use for competitions. So we're just gonna go in and start hitting these breasts. That's my main area concern here, is I don't want these drying out. So I'm gonna be pretty heavy-handed with those. I'm just going every inch in a grid pattern on here and loading it up. And you can see you're gonna have some running out. That is perfectly fine. I'm gonna get into the thighs here, and you'll be able to tell that they start swelling up. And man, this injection smells really, really good. So I'm just gonna hammer up these thighs and these legs. You can really see it start to puff up there. So I'm just gonna keep hammering these. All right, so we have the birds all injected. You can see, yes, we had some run out. That's perfectly fine. The majority of it is still in there. Remember, we had 16 ounces. That's not even close to 16 ounces. So now at this point, we're gonna get these seasoned up. And to do that, I'm gonna get these out of here, dry them off a little bit, and get them on a wire rack. So let's do that right now. All right, so now that we have this backside dried off, the first rub I'm coming in with today is Sucklebuster's Clucker Dust. And if you've never used this before, this is fantastic on chicken. So this is gonna be kind of our base layer, our SPG-ish rub, if you will, but really goes well with chicken here. We're going pretty light since we're using 2 rubs. If you're gonna use 1 rub, you can go a bit heavier. It's completely up to you. Next rub we're coming in with today is my Kickin BBQ Honey Chipotle, and this is just gonna give us our nice color and some more barbecue flavor here. All right, we're gonna give that a minute to sweat in, then we'll flip them over and we'll repeat the process on the top side. All right, so same thing on this top side. Just gonna come in with a paper towel, dry this off a little bit here. Again, we're not worried about crispy skin on this. We want nice, tender, rendered, bite through skin on here that people can actually enjoy to eat. We don't want it to be tough. All right, we're gonna come in with the clucker dust. All right, and the next rub is going to be my honey chipotle. All right, so how these go on is how they're gonna stay, and I'm just gonna take a toothpick and pop it in right here just to keep this wing from moving off. I wanna have that nice presentation there. So just remember to take those out at the end. And then I'll just come in and I'll touch up anything I might have messed up by handling it. All right, so that looks really good. So these are exactly how this bird's going on this rack. We're gonna be cooking on the Z grills today, rocking at 275 degrees. Again, our focus is not crispy skin. We want a nice, tender, juicy chicken. So I'm gonna go get the Z grills fired up to 275 degrees while this rub just kind of sweats into this chicken. So I will pick back up when we're headed out to the Z grills. All right, so we have the Z grills coming up to temperature. It's sitting at about 190 right now. I'm just gonna get the chicken on, let it get a little extra smoke, never hurt anyone. So I'm gonna get this opened up, and I'm just gonna get this chicken dead center right there. And you can see that rub has sweated in nicely. I'll bring you in. The rub has sweated in really nicely. Everything's looking really good. So I'm gonna get this shut down, and then we are going to let these go for 1 hour. So we'll see you in 1 hour. All right, so it has been 1 hour. We're gonna check in on these chickens, and you can see, man, they are looking really good. They have great color. Let's just take a reading here on the breast. Sitting at about 120 degrees. All right, so at this point, our rub is nice and set up on here. It's not coming off when I touch it. And at this point, we are going to get these in and get them in a butter bath. And this is where the comp portion comes into play. So I'm really excited to show you this. It yields a great final product. An hour in the smoke is all we're gonna need for chicken. So I'm gonna get these off and meet you inside the house. All right, so these are our 2 half pans that our half chickens are going into. And all we're gonna do is just lift them up and take them off and put them in there. We do the same thing with this other one, just like that. And again, you can see we have some beautiful color on here. I can smell the smokiness. Remember, poultry is an absolute sponge for smoke, so you really don't need a whole lot of time in the smoke. So that was an hour in there at 275 degrees. Good smokiness from the Smoky Woods pellets. Absolutely love those. Now, we got to give these a butter bath. All right, and so to give these a butter bath, it's very simple. I'm just going to take 1 stick of butter and put it here. I'm gonna take 1 stick of butter and put it here, 1 here, and 1 here. And yes, I realize that is a pound of butter. Here's the thing, you're not consuming all of this butter. This is just to help melt it down, get a nice braise on, soften up the skin and render the fat under the skin so you have a nice tender bite through skin. We're not going for crispy skin here. We are going for tender, rendered bite through skin, and the butter is gonna help steam and do that. And we're still gonna be cooking at 275 degrees. So all we're gonna do is get these covered up. All right, and there's our half chickens all covered up. You can melt the butter ahead of time if you want. I just like to put it cold in there. That way it melts down on its own, takes a little bit of time to warm it up. So I like to put these back on for an hour and check our temperature. Now the nice thing is because we injected these and we're giving them a butter bath, if they do get up to 170, 175, 180 degrees, they're still gonna be nice and juicy. We don't have to worry about overcooking them or drying them out or anything like that. So I'm going to get these back onto the Z grills, 1100 2B, rocking at 275 degrees, and I'm letting them go for another hour. So the next time you see these, we'll go ahead and check temperatures in 1 hour. We will see you then. All right, so it has been 1 hour since we butter bathed our chicken. Let's take a look at it and see how we did here. And yeah, Check that out, looks wonderful. Our skin held up nicely. We still have some good color. Let's check our temps here. Yep, 180, that is perfectly fine. 190 in there. This is looking absolutely amazing. Let's check on our other one here. That one also looking very good. Same temperature, nice even cooking from that Z grills. Everything looks really great, but now we have to get them out of the butter bath here and get them back onto our pan so we can set this rub back up before we hit them with our sauce. So let's do that right now. I'm gonna get these slid off to the side. Have our sheet pan right here that I cleaned up from when we initially had them on there. All we're gonna do is just come in with our spatula here and go right back on there. Just like so. Check that out. They look absolutely fantastic. Now all we're gonna do is just go lightly over the top of them with a little bit more of the honey chipotle. Just like that, just a little bit on there just to pop out that color. So I'm gonna get these on the smoker for a minute or two, and then I'll bring you back and show you how we're gonna sauce these up. All right, so here is our half chickens after just letting them set up for a minute, basically while I mixed up the sauce. This is half and half Sucklebuster's honey peach glaze and finishing sauce mixed with a smoky barbecue sauce. However you wanna do it is completely up to you. And this is a cool part about having it on a rack. Literally, all you have to do is just pour it over the bird here, and you'll get a nice even glaze, no brush marks. You can just take your time and go over the entire bird. And anything you don't use, you can save because you didn't dunk your chicken in it. So we'll just do this for both of these. And check that out. Beautiful glaze on those birds right there. Looks absolutely amazing. So now that we have these sauced up, I'm gonna get them back onto the smoker for 3 to 5 minutes at 275 degrees and just let this sauce set up a little bit. So next time you see these, they'll be on the board. We'll check them out, we'll do a taste test and see how they look. See you then. All right, so here are our half chickens after the sauce has set on them, and check that out. They look absolutely amazing. You can see they're just dripping juice here. Let's slice into one and see how we did. All right, so when you're serving these, everyone can get a half chicken if they want, and it's really easy. You can just follow this bone right here. Somebody wants dark meat, they can have a thigh and a leg. If somebody wants the white meat, they can have the breast and the wing. So let's just slice off a piece of this right here. Check out that moisture in there. Hopefully the camera's picking that up, but that's what that injection is going to get you. Nice white meat right there, super juicy, feels very tender, just pulls apart. That skin definitely rendered through. You can almost see through it. I know that's gonna be a really good bite. And let's check this out. Ton of moisture in there. Don't have to worry about taking it a little bit higher like we did because of that injection. Take that off. Check out the moisture in that thigh. It is just dripping. So let's jump out and let's do the taste test. All right, so for the taste test, the first thing we're gonna be trying here is the white meat. It's very tender, has a really nice flavor from that injection. Of course, the clucker dust, my honey chipotle, and then the glaze on there works really well. That butter bath made sure it stayed nice and moist, helped render the fat under that skin. Really, really good chicken. All right, so let's try one of the legs here, see how that turned out. You can see that nice clean bite on this chicken here, bit right through the skin. That's what you're looking for when you're doing comps. Nice and tender, nice and juicy. Again, great flavor from that butcher's injection, the bird booster. Really enjoying this chicken here. All in all, this is a super simple cook. It's very good. Inject your bird, season it up, 1 hour at 275 degrees, throw it in a pan with some butter, cover it up another hour. It is done. It's pretty hands-off and yields a great final product here. I mean, this has been sitting here for a little bit, still just dripping juice. So I definitely recommend giving this a try for a weeknight meal or whenever. Like I said, very simple, and I really think you're gonna enjoy it. I'll have a link for everything I used down below. Be sure to check that out. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.